Hey everybody, it's Dr. Nashlie with the Garden of Nash, and today I want to tell you about what we're growing here in the month of June, my favorite month of the year. You know why? It's actually my birthday month. All right, let me show you what we got growing in the Garden of Nash. All right, it's not too late to plant some quinoa. Now this is my first time growing quinoa, but this stuff is really taking off. I actually got way too much in here. So I did my little version of a chaos bed. So I just sprinkled some seeds around and look is what happened. Now you can still plant quinoa because you really don't harvest quinoa until the fall anyway. And so you're gonna get at least 90 days that it's gonna need to grow. So you still got time to plant the quinoa. Now I also have some cosmos in here as well as some zinnias. They're kind of trapped down in the middle, but there they are. And I believe that this is gonna be a great mixture of quinoa plants that grow really tall. And I may even have to chop these, and definitely do not recommend putting them in a bed like this. I recommend planting them on the ground because they're gonna get pretty high and also gonna have some nice flowers coming in there. All right, let's see what we got next. We're gonna plant melons. Do you all see how big this melon leaf is? Now, I got these in early, but they really just sat here until it was time to take off. So it's not too late to get you some melons, watermelon. This is actually cantaloupe that we have in the ground. You can see there's lots of flowers and blooms to come. And so that'll be really good. We'll get us some melon. What I'll do is I'll trellis this because it has a vine. It's gonna definitely start taking off. And then we'll see a lot of fruit to come, hopefully later in the summer. This is a perfect time of year to plant peppers. These are actually early peppers. So these are, you see jalapeno peppers that are actually already coming through. I have some bell peppers as well. But the hot chili peppers, this is your time. I just planted some seeds in my seed starter, and so we're gonna be able to take those peppers and plant them out here because peppers love it when it's extra hot. They like it hot and spicy outside. So make sure you're growing your peppers. It's not too late to get those in the ground, whether you buy them or plant them yourself. Another thing, our okra. All these are okra plants that are volunteers from last year. As you can see, some are still coming up. And so that okra is gonna grow. Again, okra also likes it when it's very hot outside. And so we're getting into our hot months. We got cloudiness over here today, but a lot of the rain is getting out the way. Speaking of rain, we got our tomatoes. So our tomatoes actually love the warmer weather. They do not like the rainy weather. So we had so much rainy weather. Here's actually some of the cherry tomatoes here. It's not too late if you live in zone 7B, 8A. We still got room for tomatoes. We still got time to grow tomatoes. I actually have some up on another part of the bed that are actually growing, and they just got out of the seed starter. So it's not too late to watch over those. Make sure your tomatoes don't get too hot though in the summer. So if you got somewhere that you can control the shade a little bit, then I recommend planting it, or even planting it in pots. It's not too late. Another thing I recommend, beans. These are actually purple or burgundy pole beans, but these things grow throughout the summer. You can actually succession plant these. And so I like purple stuff, right? Because I'm a purple girl. I got purple bell peppers over there, but these are gonna grow up the trellis, and we're gonna get us some nice beans. And because I'm starting some new ones in another part of the bed, another part of the garden, we're gonna have beans throughout the summer. All right, so some of you all may have gotten your sweet potatoes. Remember my video from the sweet potatoes. Our sweet potato vines are growing. If you never got those into the bed, it's still not too late. So if you got those slips that you're growing, or if you started some already, you can go ahead and put them in the soil or whatever medium you're growing them in, and you should see your sweet potatoes start to take off. Now they take at least 90 days to grow in the soil, so that's something you want to put aside and just let it grow, let the vines grow, enjoy it throughout the summer, but you won't be able to harvest that until later in the fall. We got our grapes over there. We even got some beets in the ground here. We are still growing squash. Yep, and look at that. Got to get him off of there. We got something for him, don't worry. We also have our zucchini here. And these are all cucurbits. Remember we talked about the cantaloupe? This is actually our watermelon. I got this one Crimson Sweet from our nursery, local nursery that we like, Pikes. I love that store. And our other cucurbit down here, which is our cucumbers. You can plant these throughout the summer. It's not too late. We started some of these about a month ago. Look at how crazy this thing has been expanding, but it's still something you can succession plant and get it into the ground because they like it when it's really hot outside. All right, so one thing that I always say, hey, you can always still plant lettuce or some sort of leafy green depending on where you're growing in the summer. I would recommend growing these in a bed that gets a lot more shade because these tend to not like it when it's super hot outside, but it is still doable. This is what I call my chaos garden. So I have planted my mustard greens here. I have some arugula here. I also have some beet leaves, which you can actually eat as a salad as well. And then we should have some lettuce coming up here somewhere. But this was my chaos garden. I sprinkled a bunch of old seeds over here. And look at how this stuff has taken off. I actually have done, over the last couple of months, I haven't cut or clipped anything. But it's all just blooming, so coming up so much. I am going to start eating this though here in the month of June because it's time to eat. All right, one other thing I want to point out is our sweet peppers. I mentioned the chili peppers, but you can also still grow those sweet peppers as well as your bell peppers. We have some nasturtiums here. They're looking so beautiful. These always look like cartoon flowers to me. I don't know why, but looks like something you would draw on a cartoon, like a lily pad or something, but it's really cool. Now, don't forget your herbs and spices too. You can still grow those. We have cilantro, we have chives, we have dill up there. We even have lots of rosemary still and sage, as well as oregano and even chamomile. This stuff smells so good. You can take these flowers off and put them in teas or just dry out the leaves. We have some lavender right there, really good for making soaps. And like I said, we actually have more winter squash over here. So these I've grown cucurbits over here that require a trellis. Never grown winter squash before, but we're giving it a try. Remember, winter squash versus summer squash, the name doesn't really mean anything. You can still grow them throughout the summer. All right, I also got some beans over here because the beans, pole beans and bush beans, these are actually the pole beans, but these grow and they actually help to retain the nitrogen in the soil. That's a trick that was learned from regenerative farming or permaculture. Really popular, George Washington Carver actually proved a lot of this. So these are some of the things that we like to do to co-plant. I also have some other herbs in the garden as well as flowers. And so remember, it's never too late to start your garden. I am here growing in 7B, 8A. There's still so much you can do. There's so much that you can plant. Want to make sure that you're enjoying your garden. If you haven't started, why not? Drop in a comment why you haven't started your garden yet. If you have started, drop in a comment letting me know that you have. And make sure that you know the more you grow, the more you know. This is Dr. Nashlie with the Garden of Nash. Have you started your garden yet?